Hollard into Swap Motor promo. You get into Swap when you sign up to Hollard's Motor Insurance between now and April. You enjoy free fuel vouchers, free roadside maintenance in case your car breaks down. With the Hollard Quick Motor Insurance Claims process, you've got the best insurance ever. Yeah, to Subruta contact your insurance broker or the nearest Hollard office. Toll-free number 0800 444 999. That is 0800 444 999. Sign up today. Join the Purple family. Hollard Insurance. We insure you and everything you love. Let's fly to the UK. British Airways says we fly 10 times a week. 10 times a week. 2 different destinations, 2 different airports. Into London Heathrow or Gatwick Airport. So go ahead and fly British Airways today as long as you're going to visit family, friends, or doing business in London. You have the option of Club World. And then also Fly World Traveler Plus and enjoy exquisite British hospitality. Book today at ba.com.
Good to meet Taki.
Professor Fu.
Yay.
Magia.
Hey.
Okay, so we share enough for you.
Not just say.
I know I be here.
Na Monday class no. Mo ya trouble.
Aye.
Enti enu me ya jipa.
Na for you.
Papa.
Afishiapa.
Africa vote ye.
Apo me you hu ache.
Monday class special.
Yes. Since you be the all year nyama preparation for December. It's not that yes you go form na enyamba ole ye home. Yes you want to.
You have to ampo. Ampo.
Yeah, ka ho.
Oh, say town here.
Who be you watch na yes.
Na must one na from.
Yeah, 40.
Na PPP what's one ko baby ya ana.
Papa how no kind of.
Mustafa Salam Mustafa.
Ya o fa semra wo hro na nyu. Hey.
Salam Mustafa no.
Progressive People's Party. Papa.
That's
party,
right.
Party papa.
Salam no kain. Ana Salam ya no kain.
Oh, Chairman General.
Yes, Salam.
Kai there no come in
I said now for you person co-presidential. Because say us in am form ni there. Us the politicians for language we start. You know, yeah my indication. Say nia nyama besi akọ. Ti say nia when you penya start you know I say there's something lurking around the corner. HB also politicians also there. Yeah super it is saying HB na piaba. But
Ebe piaba.
Ebe piaba. But yeah try on PPP on beka ho a now do no ensay nkwan. So yeah try on on beka ho a ebe ma agro no so ayede. So we are waiting. They should come and join the fray.
And to suspect is enough for you will go for flag bearer. But are you party chairman? No?
Oh, see, politics there. Everything is possible in politics. Who party chairman?
Artificial intelligence.
I know for president.
Prof. Rachel. How the Prof. Macav will go.
I know for president.
Who party chairman and chairperson? Marco for president.
PPP ticket. Yeah.
When I say Kwame Nimeko. Kwame, friend say
Kwame be a claim.
Kwame. I say Kwame
be a claim.
What am I feeling?
Go pa Bob Brat da, let's be a claim. It must be a sweet position.
Not necessarily. Because send out prof send me yes idea do yedium. Who could do her
What's
pa? I kawaii.
Mambo Kuradium.
Yes.
First times were the welcome.
Usually, Nyombe you ominim aba first. Hey, ya tawechi. You are the first people over food. In the middle of the jelly, they will tell their bank.
Oh, Fanuko Faro, no, we do have a cow. Moko Nyabo.
Music of your belly. Sided Ohuso.
Yes, delegate no. O come in China. On your muddin come out, Cassa, no more your dean. We are, no say, grandpapa. The crack.
What can say?
That's a cousin. What can say?
That's it. TV that will be a fold in this stage. What's it? Oh, about this stage, you're delegate, also a delegate. Never think of trouble or Chinese guy. Also, Chinese guy. Scanner.
What can you? I said the crack and the crime.
Fold in this stage.
Come here, Cassa, and say, Chairman General. Yes.
The crack.
Nina could say,
Chairman, oh, Chairman, what do you need more?
What do you mean? So what do you confuse?
What say yes or so? But the crack is saying,
yes, let's come back and come in coffee. Chairman, how do you coffee?
I had the winning problem. What's no problem?
Now, one catcher is one catcher. What if it be a Jan now? With a coffee. Ye, not the crack. Fajan and I.
Just in the crack.
Delegate.
I'm saying I'm in the Miss Rob.
But while we was say, oh, for it, why you good? Oh, you good, so the math easy. Oh, yeah, come for next one. Oh, yeah, next one.
I see for me, I see for me in Yami.
Ghana.
Nana for you who watch it, my Misa says so far, or share the political terrain at saying few comments on the Vice President Baumia and Samodia Tuja, and then also Running Made Blues. I think these two can start off for now. Vice President, the policies at Tuja. Oshe Chronicle and Baumia's new tax policy is good, says Association of Ghana Industries President No Ewaha. Daily Guide, it moves on to Baumia running mate Onyina sticks his neck out, according to Daily Guide, but also for Onyina Bekase Opacho. Onka Bibiasa.
Ghana 4.
So, Ushe, Daily Dispatch. Majority of NPP members have settled on Opoku Prepe as Baumia's running mate, NPP national officer, and they told her. Experts score Baumia high on his vision for Ghana, and it's what Daily Dispatch. Ushe Daily Graphic. NDC running mate heats up. Nana Opoku leads pack. Togwi Afader's name pops up. Iti chese eneno Baumia
for this room.
NDC running mate Baumia policy running mate issues. Metise Mika say yes say NPP members have settled. No Ubisa say Adomoko meeting when go settle. Meeting.
Go pa da say. Chia kese vdeba. PPP National Executive Committee. Chair Ubiara. Na Jubedia Yashasi. PPP be year flag bearer by the end of the first quarter, by the end of March.
Hey, them.
Come upon year flag bearer. On Subabe to find Kaudama Progressive People's Party. Now, come upon Vice President Baumia any vision for Ghana issues. Are very tricky. A lot of scenarios play out for them program. So share former President Kokrokoo Kasai almost as an endorsement for a person that where you needed that. He needed to reinforce the endorsement in light of other issues. Now, Papa had any vision, but one also there's the driver mate scenarios. So, or play it out. Many of the analysis is that it can't be a driver mate scenario because by our friend constitution. So president you are vice president no and a mate so sebi only license. But the vice president say, are you ready? Are you ready for the position? Anything of us is a president in you are. I don't know about that. Obashaho. A mate is not necessarily ready for the position. So driver you are. Mate are only license no. We can call for driver for whatever. Into the concept of the mate driver scenario now all cordon. I think there on the appropriate whether terms or lingua or they will use because the vice president is already ready. The other part I find it interesting, grandpapa. Yeah, and Kokrokoo can there as a vice president, you need to move my president or catch her there. Yeah. It is the messenger boy of the president. That's what Kade Bibi. Let's say yeah, that's there. You may be under duress. Also, mentasi papa. Because on one point, it was the best performing vice president ever. Minim criteria where you see wakasa to me ma wo WWF title, World Wrestling Championship title belt. The best vice president ever. The same vice president, yes sir. Sebi we need to move bia odi ye bibi wo abem. Me find those two things conflictuous. Se nyama papa bi osia ye bode vice president oje enyim no ye manebe. At the same time, what's the vice president in him enough influence and enough power to go against certain things onkoye as the head of the economic management team. Say analysis as the head of economic management team, or a subcommittee of cabinet, they can only propose certain ideas. But also call against the visionary, the head of EMT, the head of economic management team, were responsible for the good economic or bad economic prospects of the nation. And there are a lot of issues to be or they share na yetum yadi to ye na ye streamlining those discussions, need to me a proper way forward. Notwithstanding this, I think there now or tight acrobatic rope walking in his delivery, because you have to be careful there. And with new vision, it doesn't conflict with an old vision you're part of. And into me absorb totally from anything yen a citizen you perceive there one koye another okoye. Also what they swallow. Into that tightrope of balancing between, if you like, today's Baumia, Dr. Baumia, and tomorrow's Dr. Baumiano, is a very tight rope, because or you're the same party, or you're continuous. A few things that you are saying you disagree with. Come up our station here and argument. Say, Kaya, I was leading that argument on the E-levy. A vice president and a presidential candidate, Baumia Baha, Dr. Baumia Baha, Obekay. They didn't agree with taxing the poor in relation to E-levy. And I name the party's position. says here, pushi E-levy through. After pushing it through, so the effect of it, is nothing to write home about. Candidate Dr. Baumia Aswaba Bekade Oba Beyi Efio, which means that he was not in agreement with the policy decision of this administration in relation to E-levy. Into Obachna Obeyi Efio. He a tightrope na American. Because you see, the technological leap, now using technology as the basis for interfacing with government agencies and government institutions. We talked about this concept of double taxation. That the poor person now otifia otiane kania otia insu or send this or this sika come and wo school. Now all those things these things it will not augur well for your development as a nation. And from what Dr. Bamia is saying, he agreed with us. He didn't agree with his government. But by his position as vice president, he could not exert the necessary influence. As for me, to exert influence, you don't need to be sitting in the seat to be a person to exert influence. Prof, we are aware there. You want to be aware influencers, social capital. As sabi sika nshewo kutokumo. And so, by one relationship with the community and our stakeholders, utume kasama will be a day. Oti. Obi oha opero contest for president. Onakasa ni kutokumo no. Oni kapro. And so ne ideas na ne nimdia owo no. Otume bankrofo a owe sika oye day obe supporting. And if you are a vice president and many good things has been ascribed to you, there ye nyimpa papa e wa dwen kese e wonim dia e de babua oman na ye kai all of the different talks, symposiums, and are we now saying that the man with the great vision obey to sacrifice for his party no influence ana? He had no influence to be able to deter people from doing aja. Na yenyim there onye. But by his virtue, but we know that by his virtue of a vice president, you are not the financier. But you will be your friend influence and affluence.
Ain't he ne saying?
So
that I can go around managing my time.
Influence and affluence have been with you. And I'm serious.
By me, the joke. It's all them management time.
Miss it, the delivery. The
of influence and affluence.
The content of delivery. Let's be honest with ourselves. Many different political parties and organizations are open their wobble ruling Ghana. Many of the ideas are whatever, no, you're good though. Many of the ideas are you're good. The difference is if you trickle down economics, if you see from bottoms up and all these type of differences. But me, I'm discussing the seemingly contradictions in the whole process. Into contradiction number one, vice president does not have power. At the same time, he's the best vice president ever in the history of Ghana. Contradiction number one. Contradiction number two, vice president did not agree with policies of this administration for which he is part and is a vice president. And that he's going to turn back the clocks of time when he becomes president. And when the bad policies were being put in place, for which he did not agree, Wankasa. It's no or you're silent. It is now that he's going to speak. Because when you're two, I don't think that augurs well. Other way you're careful in how we will push this narrative. Although you're very careful on how they push this narrative. Because into me, you're part of a government system for 8 years. You take glory on one hand, but on the other side, things that did not go well, honestly, it will be tibe your chalk on those things. You can't do that. Into me, you're the margin. You must absorb all. Or that if papa na bonini na so na di shewiyem. But say, these distinctions about my Amy, I agreed with, and me, I didn't agree with. Let's say, but out like that, so forcefully, then it becomes a way. It becomes a way. Because if you are head of the economic management team, and something was not going right, you must come out. Yentihana,
so as
national organizer of MPP.
As part of the
just
team,
now,
you were saying that he should come and say
what they are told better electricity do. The national organizer of the MPP came out blazing on all media platforms that they don't agree with this position.
So are you saying that as part of the team, no? In Kompia Bontimbekas on your money,
it's the national organizer, the national chairman, and general secretary.
The national organizer
in cabinet.
But he's not the head of the economic management team.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that the chairman of the party and the general secretary of the party.
Now, for just one question, let me call Salam. Are you saying you expected the Obaba out?
Oh, Grandpapa.
Abandon
as a leader, let's say, Grandpapa, you must stand up and be accounted for. Or this is how you hold the fort. Now it may have the necessary influence to change the course of them while you're there on send or offer. I'm discussing about the dichotomies. I may discuss about the tightrope, what the man is going through. I can imagine Yama all connecting and trying to build or show us a Dr. Baumia vice president, a Dr. Baumia party leader, and flag bearer. And I make a day. Grandpa, Missy, the people are discussing that there seems to be some contradictions in some of the things that Oracle. The issue near there, the process that is being set, or a very delicate process. And I'm letting the drink today. Some of the propaganda now, we are rather what? Messing the man up. We are rather messing up the man. Many of the spokespersons on MPP saying that the man never agreed with E-Levy. You're an American. Oh yeah, the spokespersons and the
he said
I am telling them there. The more that they say it, the more that they put their leader in a state of quandary, because you are putting him at odds with his own leader and his own team that he has worked with. When you do that now and you attempt to separate him from what is there now, you can't do it. It's better to accept and apologize. I expected that in the beginning of the speech, he would have apologized for some of the things that has not gone well. And then he goes on to lay his platform and that he will take corrective actions on many of those things. We didn't hear any apology.
Right, let me go forward. Let me move forward, please. Don Pino from Malam says Nana Furi's argument is quite simplistic. Did Vice President Baumia dissociate himself from any purported mishap of this government? Was the Vice President elected, or was it the President who was? Nana, you yourself, you are not neutral to discuss anything about this government. You've openly said you don't like the MPP. Anyway, okay. That's Don Pino from Malam. Nana Furi, don't forget, is the chairman of a political party and he wants power. So don't expect him to sing your song. He will sing the PPP song. Afari Tadisco down. Baumia was elected flag bearer a few months ago. He's been able to come out with his policies and vision statement, which has been accepted and hailed by industry players, including Guta, AGI, and Abosuka and spare parts dealers. Baumia is our hope. Afari Tadisco down. Lamte King Rashidi Nashaiman. Tell Grandpapa that the Côte d'Ivoire sacked their coach. That's the driver in the first round. His mate took over the vehicle and they won AFCON. Baumia is a driver's mate and it is possible.
So he's sacking the president. You see, when I say people make analysis, it doesn't make sense.
Well, we know he's not sacking.
You bring this scenario and you are saying that Baumia has sacked his president. So he's now the president-elect. So you see,
he's not president-elect. JC Bwaku from Mamprobi says the visionary Baumia has outlined his vision for Ghana. If you disagree with him, bring an alternative. That's all we need, so we can continue the discussion. That is JC Bwaku. Dr. Baumia mentioned specifically that he has the mandate of the president to focus on digitalization. Ask Nana Furiusu his impression of that aspect of the economy. And then Francis Brakwa in Kumasi. Kwame, on a very light note, I'm running a program, please. Kwame, on a light note, you and I were not there comes to mind. Baumia come out from inside Boko, Nana Dollar Pokwase, sense that one. Okay, yes, you wanted to say something, Nana?
Digitization works on the foundation of good economy. Digitization cannot work in the absence with a bad economy. So the digitization process, on see one side, and the economy know what the other side. Work on hand in hand. So economy is going through challenges. The issues of digitization will also have challenges because a good economy then becomes the bedrock on which digitization platforms are built on. It's not digitization platforms that are built for economies
but the man
to
said
sit
that. You see, didn't even listen to him.
Nor
have you read the script?
That's why somebody asked a question. I'm answering the question.
Okay, so
you hear the question?
I heard the question.
Yeah, I'm answering
but your question is off the tangent.
No, it's not the tangent. It's your perception.
Anyway.
You have a right to your own perception.
And I'm
right. Supposed to agree.
Salam, Empatibrim.
Okay. Chairman General.
Yes, sir.
Michao.
Yeah, Joso.
Prof. Any chairman. Etiefo nyina ahwefo obia a otie anapawe mechia. Chairman General. So far no. Me shada enhu a very detailed, if you like, content discussion of near Dr. Baumia Eddie Tuja last Wednesday at UPSA, because now me trying say Chairman Nano Fori beko into the content of the speech, but you took your time to run around the peripherals of the speech. Chairman, first and foremost, this issue of mate and nanka and say or this analogy no betuja and so on and so forth. In 2012, President John Dramani Mahama ekacha and say oye spare driver obabe wie the unexpired term of Professor Mills nyame etunsa efremo. Maybe you are dealing with issues of semantics. Wes, please, semantics. Oh, but he made it clear. Said there was a mandate that was unexpired. No. Due to the demise of the president, he was constitutionally injuncted to dispose of. And further on went to say he should be given the mandate to continue to pursue his own agenda and vision for Ghana in 2012. So these things are not new in our political conversations, jargons, and lexicons. In fact, Aliu Mahama was the first person to even bring this driver mate issue in the 2007 primaries. So it has been within the political space for some time. But be it as it may, within the context, I am happy say we are discussing about vision. Say a politics no akwenim to the extent say if you want to become a leader, now you must put something before the Ghanaian people. Now yensusu enhwe say nia wodi pa no ebeboa oman wi ana emwa. At least I have listened to the former president John Dramani Mahama on about 2 occasions since he became flag bearer. First time inaugurating on my speech as to his vision, and Dr. Bawumia has also done so. Me Susu Yene say we would have been discussing the two to see the weight of the vision and obia all
just
the
and when you adi hu
o say
o mini so adi hu
o mu any adi hu no na yenhwe who has the gravitas wait me aboa man yi
why na betimi aboa wan ka brofu kakaka gravitas na yede
brofu no obia obetimi aboa man yi
no
yekoye ba ni nyina no chama general leadership leaders and effort decision our impact on nyina yeso enti se Nana Danko Akufo-Addo ebaye it takes certain critical decisions, a bit is a free SHS, any other decisions are take our effect on us. I just say leadership very critical. And he say young Nima ni obedi sono. We must be necessarily interested. Senior Nadrin City, his thinking process. And that's what these conversations are meant to give us. And of course, so far, métier conversations be across the board. Industry players, even neutrals, media people, or the day before yesterday, me who odi ahinkan me who video na oma overview of the speech saying he thought.
No, say
I say, the speech was good, the delivery is good, the content is good, but of course, at the end of the day, politicians say to me. Yen try say ye so a bo ye shani nyina ye betimi aye. In essence, near Dr. Bawumia there to ye nim any vision senior ohun se Ghana beko and ono. And he made it clear on say on my context perspective there's no part of the speech Dr. Bawumia yin hu e free this current government. He first of all started by saying that we have run into difficulties. He admitted, say, "Ahonchere aba efri say atorenchembi ebesi so ema nyama etosin kakra." And he gave the antecedents of nyama senior esiako. Say at a point in time, this economy was one of the fastest growing in the world. And yen ena yekaye Reuters, World Bank, Bloomberg, Munyina Equity, Ghana as the fastest growing economy around 2018 or so, growing at about 8% per annum, ahead of even China. If this team was able to achieve such a feat, say Aturanchim be a buyer. Yenina na ye ni hu to me, say you best stop here. Emma nyama tosin. It shows that indeed there's capacity to deliver. And that's exactly what Dr. Bawumia went ahead to say. All the things he has helped Nana Danko Akufo-Addo as vice president to do. Paperless port system Odibaye, his insistence for a comprehensive national identification system, because identifying your citizenry is key to national development. It's key. A key to national development. And on my context of in digitalization drive, or can say in Ocho book be in 2010 about monetary policy. And in that book, he stated that digitalization is one of the key drivers to take economies to the next level. So in 2010, the man had already figured out, say, digitalization is a key component of advancing economics. And say, Nyamicha Adie, Wabedi vice president, he is pursuing the very things that he believes in and has always believed in. And made the point.
But not for you to just say, Onion, he said,
anything I make a say, when tear speech, because the man gave the context. he said it. Oh, Debbie, I'm not giving him accolades. So I was there.
Now, for you push the microphone away when you're talking into an empty room. So then it echoes. We don't hear you.
Oh, I listened to him well, and I've read the speech as well.
PPP, dear Superban,
yeah, try one.
Yes.
But Chairman General.
So some bear flag bearing to me.
Chairman General. In essence,
but the Panamco props no way that
Dr. Baumia is clear in his vision. Say, let's cut expenditure, grow the economy, reduce cost of living, and create opportunities for the Ghanaian people, especially the youth. And a very practicable way of dealing with youth unemployment in this country. And if you go through the speech systematically, especially tax regime, how do we simplify our tax regime and make it less cumbersome and make it less burdening on the Ghanaian people? None of worry. Prof,
yeah, me too.
There's no way that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's vision will be the same as Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's vision. There's no way. Only two different people and see things from different perspectives. Juma in Abenkesie. The mandate and authority is vested in Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo as President of the Republic of Ghana. A play support role for the president to, implement his vision. And that's why Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia started by saying that the conditions that existed in 2017, and yet the same conditions, ever play out in 2025. So the contexts are going to be two different scenarios. Into Onoba, the way Ono Ehunyamano, it's not going to be the same way it was in 2017. So let's implement certain policies. But in 2025, we are going to look to the direction more of a consolidation, how to build on Nyayaye already. And we have comprehensive national identification system. You can sit. We have built some infrastructure systems that will allow us to take our economy, a bit forward. That didn't exist in 2017. Nyamane bi not 2017 anyhow. Danka 2017 we would have been able to do, maybe would have been leapfrogging, but because they didn't exist, we have taken our time to build those. And I believe that knowing him, having worked and working with him, he's a hardworking person. He's diligent. He's meticulous. Look, he's brilliant. He's smart, he's intelligent, and I think that between the two candidates, John Dramani Mahama and Mahmoud Bawumia, if ye pe obia okanukre, obebua Ghana, Mahmoud Bawumia is way ahead of John Dramani Mahama, and he declared, said he's not corrupt, and went ahead to give context of his incorruptibility. But you cannot say same of John Dramani Mahama.
We're discussing Bawumia.
I understand.
Moving on forward.
I'm putting the two candidates together for proper, discussion.
You prefer Napo as running mate, true?
At the end of the day, as a national officer, whoever the flag bearer brings to National Council will have a discussion there. And, the majority members of council would, take a decision and we'll move forward.
NDC running mates, Nano Pokwajman, talk about further. What do you think? But Tommy Afede so it means that what also giant and Nakunya me so we got.
Meaning say him for any politics.
Onya Nakunya.
And we share Debre you know Togbe Afedi you know Ewono in the Asogli state. Minjindi say Odibesi ho na wabedi running mate.
Other interesting names about in the NDC include former Chief of Staff Julius Deborah, economist Dr. Nimoy Thompson, MP Sunafo Eric Kokrokoo, and retired police commissioner Nathan Kofi Boache. This is according to Graphic. Suleiman and Mustafa and Etroy. But I'm saying, according to Suleiman and Mustafa's story, now saying insiders say the NDC is likely to stick to the choice of Professor Nana Jino-Poku-Agyeman. Anyway, that's according to.
But NDC for to say the woman doesn't bring in anything, only gravitas.
And yet, dodo ebinum
say mame no any metal, political metal, only gravitas, and on fa bibia enka on their ticket. Anything na ebinum against to Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman. But senior SB ko bia NDC for asem. Yes, so here we here. You train near flag bearer di beba because at the end of the day, no, obia are you comfortable to work with? Obia all chemistry. Obia ono ofi say obe buano ama ejumano ako yamano. Obia are you comfortable around? Say oh me too kwine make my jamechi amao. Because we don't want a car rolling situation again in this country.
Never again.
Never again. And that's why I thought that these things are left to flag bearer and say, propose bra. Na nipa krono, then take a decision as a party. Why not? We approve the person for you. Then you all go and campaign. But at the end of the day, no, nipa ba kunkwa never ballot no so. A presidential candidate, no. Even though you see a ticket, but it doesn't appear. Say nipa mino and ebe appear ballot no so nipa bako, which goes to show say mandate no will be there. The mandate unambiguously no belongs to someone, and at the end of the day, other person no complementary to the main person, and that's why in this context no, I think that it is only fair that Dr. Bawumia is able to state his own mind. Say, Meba, this is how I want to be. This is the road I want to take. And, you know, what we have done now gives me the ample opportunity to implement the things that I am advocating for. The difference be anyhow in near Dr. Bawumia say obeye and you know near as vice president is the same thing, but now he's going to be the main person taking the decisions. Into say what the policy banner maybe or feel say it is not in line with say consolidation of the economy, or it's at variance with the kind of tax regime, flat tax rate or the banning now. Because they be where the mino nyadwe
and ne kwakwa ne se mebeko prof so esane se nanesiama yenko so hene won Kokrokoo traditional area. Say Kwame, is your program English, Chinglish or
Chinglish.
What? Tell Mustafa we beg him. Why?
Chinglish.
We beg him.
Chinglish.
Mustafa, yeah, pacho. Say, yeah, my brother kakra but as I say, dear
English.
Anytime I say me call prof, we gonna enough for you sukra eja. Or ye ofori o sukra not the brother kese gravitas gargantuan
dichotomy.
Or say dichotomy.
No.
Prof. I'm pass wa fina nampa. Wa betutu prof ni
basana.
Dichotomies graphitas.
I see your affluence and influence. Kwame, maybe I say, Kwame na a Monday class. You me say na say entenya time. Nti ya mo.
We dey I had said the anope interviews be na.
Te am hwema na. Ya na yepese ye baba ne mu kakra. Kwame dedika no when mu say Saturday na me de me brother see no crack.
Oh dear.
Inti Maxwell Osafo inti medam ase ebusuafo efre num enyina se mo amo mo beja ma ye nyina edam ase ya kokra na chi crack inti nyame hia mo nyina edam ase oyinia Maxwell Osafo
de
o nyame frɛ no ko ahomegim 82 years kwame okobi
oh abobra
okobi pa inti nyame fa ne currency kwame ye vice president Baumia matwere bi oha na matwere ase akọ potokasem me say vice president Baumia's speech as far as I'm concerned was an attempt to delicately kwame balance delicately balance loyalty and personal convictions. Ofri party bi mu na oba.
Yeah.
And on a party no aye adwuma. No kre so we have a list of name party na ya. Wa ya de pa party no abono homoden. You to me can say party bi ba ya no dey wan hwe. We can say you are not being fair to that political party. Sabi obi a metena so akaka na so ya na manoko. Nti then obehunu say oba build the vision. We speech carefully. Or build the vision based on the achievement of the party. And to obehunu say o kan niema omoaye na fe ono head the vision e de aba. Naturally say on one hand he's been part of a system. And the loyalty no ne say Obon Humodin say Obuo and then the Pebia also were yedima party no obey in that speech no also ordinary. At the same time, he also has personal convictions. But to be fair to Baumia, you cannot ask Baumia to openly say yeah.
And Nana Ususu onion.
No, to be fair to Baumia, it's not easy. It's not easy. That balance between loyalty and personal convictions, no, and easy cry. And the reason is that the reason is that, Kwame, if you have been part of a system, the real challenge is, in fact, is that you are sharing in their glory and their liabilities.
Yes.
And the ending, we no menka ho, but the speech attempted to balance that. And to who say waka nioma part new year ne pay by the challenges by ne the oba on so obey. And mimi who say nana as a view of uncle here they can discuss that in camera. Na the ono one when you say baby when you are part of a system like this na chon now the vision be about. The challenge for you is that Obi say situation now that's the first question. The person is not concerned about said the end you try and said they are not concerned about that. Their concern is that as far as you are part of the system, what did you do? Now a hono ena manjimono say one day in prempring yeah vibes them about me and yeah former president Mahama Etoto Edinse they share one thing in common,
which is
that they have all been part of a system. When you now were once upon a time vice president, the only difference I say vice president yeah can say Mahama at the time obey a president or no any acquire obey a president.
Okay.
And the vice president Baumiano a fan on also a president. Very, very fantastic scenario. Women you now have been part of a system. Number two is that Ghana for any acquire I experience both of them in various forms and ways. So to me, what is most important now, I don't think is about a person, it's about their visions. It's not about their person who be experiencing. Enti edi ben ne and so adi wo ben no modeba. That's what I see it. Because okay me say me analysis about former president Mahama meet me ama. Okay say me analysis about current vice president meet me ama. But to see I won't idea competition at die anymore, and I can see a die anymore or more kono is and for me. So the question is not about their personalities, it's about their visions. Then the Kromwa Amodeba. You know, as a student of the Bible, Kwame, we was what a story about David and Goliath.
Peace FM.
And see, Omoko Ella Bonhanu. Tiasama saw catch David. Or catch David say, you are unable to fight him because he has been a soldier from his youth. And I catch and say, I'm sorry. I've been a soldier, but I'm so maybe kukum sisini say jata o maybe kukum sisini jata. Now David is forcing the man to know say it is not about size, it's not about person. That's why he's telling the king and yeah about his size, because size I don't match up.
It's about ability.
It's about ability. So he told the guy that look, I have killed this, I have killed that. So I think that to be fair to both of them, or be able to be a contestant as a president in this country, say what it takes to be a president, with me a contested. But to be fair to both of them, it is about their vision. One aiding kuma about personality. I don't think we are being fair. Number two, Kwame. Onipa edan najuni. In fact, the man nipa dance so power body say man has a tractable mind. Adwenia edin dan.
Obet me adani.
Enti obi to me afa say me fa kwan yiso. Ofa so hu say no, wansa na chi. And nobody can blame anybody for taking a second opinion. No. That's how human life is all about. It's about learning and relearning. Enti osua hu say ha me fa yanko yi. Me pese me fa. Over to me raise a critique, a strong criticism, which is good because o person nipa draw attention. Enti omo a criticize it na e cancel on hwe nyina no. I don't fault them at all. You be say you trying say next time no hwe one in the year that's okay. Now sabri I think said you bet me a pa no is to really query and question the vision, the content. Now you nipa no enton cheso so why vice president da and now why president da Ghana antino onti maibio ye huni nyina na de hu ya sanete. I don't think that is fair. America, a friend is saying current president was he not the vice president?
Biden, yes.
Yeah. Exactly. And they don't hear Moma Infantonche, he was part of a system. But when he came, ordinary vision ever tuja. And you can see say, some of the things now, you know, yes, Republican, it follow generally the Republican ethos. But they be
Democrats.
Sorry, the Democrats ethos. But they be you can see Biden and in the vision and in the oil. And you know, I think say
Sam is slightly different from what he did under
exactly.
Obama.
That's the point I'm making.
Very
Different. No, even if it's very different or is slightly different, the point is that you will have the traces of the ethos of the Democrat in their oil, but you can see the color of Biden. And you know, people can change their mind. Minimum say Vice President Baumia, that made it say na Obi can say, yeah, they are able to levy. Have you ever heard him commenting on that?
No.
I mean, the silence alone should be a message. Maybe you are uncanny, but the fact that he was quiet on it could be a message. Say, I'm not too sure. We can't put words in his mouth, but maybe he wasn't too sure about this. The way I said you call it.
Say before
he came, but you know, maintaining that on it. And you know, he has a vision. The vision of the Atujano. We can query him on the vision. We can take the vision here to Timonia, Bisemunia, Bobomunia, but I think that Obiaman benefit of the doubt, just as we'll give to former president Mahama. Say, people change their mind, and not an circumstances will force you to change your mind. And you able to me a show, kete ma wada na madwene. And the ebi up self fasa kwen so. And so one who said the air by intino, me fa enqui. And the efi madan madwene fa. So we may not be surprised at all say whichever say the NDCU MPPO you be winning or ba. We may see a president Mahama whose vision completely moves away from the Oye that some time ago, no. Or we may see a President Baumia whose vision may be a bit off the Nana Akufo-Addo. And I think Kwame is about a vision and not a person.
Auntie Adadzoa say in public service, one expects that in the interest of the nation, heads of entities would accept wise input. Even in private sector where profit is king, we have seen bosses take decisions that are obviously bad in the face of better alternatives proffered by subordinates. Many married women have seen their husbands take wrong decisions against their wise counsel. Kwame, as you know, I am a wife. I have not given up. I have not publicly given up on my husband.
Married.
Yes, or disagreed with him publicly. And even privately, I endeavor not to even tell him, I told you so. I've been blessed with public and private sector experience. Kwame, we should all introspect, given our socio-cultural milieu and the remit of the vice president per our constitution. I've not been in Baumia's shoes, but I can tell you, I believe he has been through the stresses many subordinates go through. Let's cut him some slack. Your Aunt Adadzwa. Aunt Adadzwa muhuacher. He says we should cut him some slack. Well, Aunt Adadzwa, Nana Frey doesn't believe in that one at all. He says, "Yo, boy, kufadu ya young boba ya baumiani ye musonka ho." Na, yeah.
I somehow cry, but I catch a prof. The video I watched, they reduced this race to 2 people. And I watched them in amazement. A whole professor. Who knows that we have multi-party candidate? Yeah, just limit the entire presidency.
But is that not the reality on the ground?
Oh my goodness!
You ever had them prepared just to go against
the battle
some party. That's what he's prepared for. He's not prepared for anything else. You see the dogmatism?
But isn't that...
He's the grandpa is correct. He's correct, he's right.
Normally, I don't want that. I do or more than.
But is that not the reality?
Grandpa,
as we sit in there, it's
a duopoly.
And you're not some more.
Theoretically, it's a reality theoretically. But practically,
I'm scenario of a David and Goliath situation.
Our Ghana.
And if Prof has given you biblical analysis and quotation, and to tell you that David Okum Goliath, and I'm telling you that this dual type of mindset, look, order or stop.
Mami used wow, bro.
Yeah, stop.
Prof, Mami used nana, bro.
Yes, sir.
Looking at the gravitas of the dichotomy of the duopoly. I tell you, bro, it's down. I'm going to form a sentence with it. Looking at the gravitas of the dichotomy of the duopoly you're complaining about. No matter what we do, by the end of elections on December 7, it will either be NDC or MPP.
That's right. You see, these days, people who don't believe, they have faith in God.
Right now, faith in God.
You see,
Prof. I catch Chairman General, so we are Professor Chairman General. In fact, she said we are deep for soccer.
But when
I can't smell you,
I mean, yeah, about
there are
various possibilities. Say, being microphone. And I'm say, now come here, I'm about show.
Me.
And that's the thing is open. You say, people.
Prof, a man should know his limitations and capabilities.
Where limitation as a
man should know his limitations and capabilities.
Kwame for vice president. Kwame for vice president.
Prof.
But
running mate,
I ran mate.
For whom?
Oh, any of the parties.
For DMB.
Bro, for boy 11, mommy,
KSK DMB.
KSK DMB. Yeah, boss. And you are starting hashtag.
Mate, but next Monday, you're bantem.
You want
me promise say you're intem. And then the name might be changing your name.
NDC General Secretary and making some very bad comments. Lanka.
The tribal centered comments.
Yes.
Unfortunately,
I don't know how
I will not give it oxygen.
How the NDC elected such a crazy
Mpacho, Salam.
Yeah,
just as I will not give it energy and oxygen, I will not allow you.
But it has been
I will not allow you to go on that tangent.
To be tribalistic.
Well, I leave it there.
And these people,
4 minutes past 11 on Peace 104.3. Because say no here. Only baby prof free. Only baby free.
Baby.
Ofie num. Who free?
Bifitamale.
Papa we free.
In the eastern
doesn't matter where we've come from.
Simple.
Yeah, you don't consistently.
And at this point,
show such crass tribalism.
You are all here, kind courtesy, a Voltarian equipping man.
Simple.
So, whose boss is an Ashanti? I mean, look at it. So we are one people.
Damn, be obeka se bia and oko voter region eko ka say voter region for some specific people and some tribes.
Wagbeje ke. Ke oba pa na ken ni bia no ofie o. Manager bia, mena egbe nyoni, mena Ashanti nyoni, mena sonu nyoni, mena ga nyoni. No be me. Coffee Conversation is next on your radio. May your day be blessed. As always, remember to keep your dreams and hopes alive. It's all you have. Congratulations to Lieutenant General Thomas Opompepra, the Chief of the Defense Staff. Morning, sir. Congratulations to Major General Bismarck Ongwana, Chief of the Army Staff. Happy birthday to Kenna Ricky Mensa. And to you, my dear listener. When you stop to say a prayer, remember to say one for me too. Kofi Kumbelson is next. God bless. Good morning.